young man who I think that he's sharp because everybody don't agree with me. White people say he's gross. Black people say he's intelligent. I don't know.
How come I don't get no big chair?
I don't believe you people.
Huh? What do you mean, you people?
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and every once in a while there's an epic win against woke nonsense. In this particular case, we've got two kids who were kicked out of an exclusive elite school in California for doing quote-unquote blackface. Turns out it was just acne medicine. And now they've been awarded $1 million for their trouble. You can't write a better ending to a story. You just absolutely love to see it. In a world of where people are just freaking out constantly. Now, there's a little more to this story that I'm going to talk about because, there is some curiosity here. You see, two California teens were forced to withdraw from an elite Catholic high school over claims of blackface, have now been awarded $1 million each plus full tuition reimbursement. A Santa Clara jury sided with the teens, identified by the initials AH and HH. Ooh, HH, yikes. On the two claims concerning breach of an oral contract due to lack of due process. The boys sued St. Francis High School in August of 2020 after photos circulated of them sporting acne treatment masks. The controversy started when the boys were, of course, accused of performing blackface and were ultimately pressured into withdrawing from the prestigious Mountain View school. It was quite clear the jury believed that these were innocent face masks. Attorney Krista told the San Francisco Chronicle on Monday judgment, they are young kids. Their internet trail is going to haunt them for the next 60 years. Now they don't have to worry about that. I mean, yes, they are very clearly, first of all, green, not black. Second of all, very clearly, I would assume they posted the picture. I would say, like, let's say the absolute worst case scenario is that they posted the picture because they're like, haha, people are going to freak out and they're going to think, whatever, they're going to think that we're doing blackface. Well, they weren't. And they did like an extremely strong level of coverage. They spent a lot of time doing these pictures, but it's very clearly not blackface. So here, they've also done it with white. Or I don't know if it starts green and it dries white or whatever the case is. I'm not sure. But very clearly, does it say under the picture? The boys sued St. Francis High School. So, yeah, no. And by the way, they had taken that picture 3 years before they were ran out of the school. The teens lost on their 3 other claims alleging breach of contract, defamation, and violation of free speech. The plaintiffs initially sought $20 million when they filed suit in Santa Clara County Superior Court 3 years after they and a friend who attended another school and was not included in the lawsuit. Boy, that other kid probably really bummed that they didn't sue. Took a selfie while donning acne treatment masks. In the offending photos, the boys' faces were covered in a dark green medication. A photo taken a day earlier revealed that they had tried on white versions as well. So it's very clear, yeah, they probably took, some pictures because it looked funny, but it's also very clear that there is no malice here. Because they did it with other colors too. And again, it was green, not black. According to documents reviewed by Daily Mail and other SFHS, students obtained a copy of the photograph from a friend's Spotify account and uploaded it to a group chat way back in June of 2020. The photo resurfaced on the same day. Recent high school graduates created a meme pertaining to St. Floyd, which sparked its own outrage and controversy. The students insinuated that the teens were using blackface and deemed the photo as another example of racism before urging everyone in the group chat to spread it through the school community. I assume this was some white girl that did this. I'm just guessing. On June 4th, 2020, Dean of Students Ray Histake, whatever, called the boys' parents to ask them if they were aware of the photograph. The parents asserted that the teens had applied green face masks, and it was 3 years ago, with neither ill intent nor racist motivation, nor knowledge of even what blackface was, according to the suit. I would argue that probably most people, at that age, nowadays, probably don't have any idea what it is. They certainly don't have any idea that, like, it's some sort of offensive thing that they should be avoiding. I'm sure of it. So first, this is a protest to the outrageous behavior and current former students from the high school, a St. Floyd Instagram account making fun of his passing, the fact that he couldn't breathe, and kids participating in blackface and thinking that this is all a joke. Again, who's this white person? Oh, of course, white liberal woman. Principal Katie T. Kell told the boy's parents that he could choose to, quote, voluntarily withdraw, and any mentions of disciplinary action would be scrubbed from his record, but she later went back on her promise. Less than 4 business hours later, Principal Katie T. Kell, well, they couldn't resist the virtue signaling, I'm sure, called their parents and said the teen was not welcome back to the high school. When the boy's father reiterated that his son had not engaged in blackface, the principal responded that her decision was not based on intent, but on optics and the harm done to the St. Francis community. So the truth has nothing to do with it. The truth had nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's just they were worried about optics, apparently. Apparently that's what it is. Tickle then said the kid could voluntarily be suspended basically from the school rather than be expelled. At no time did the principal or anyone else from the high school administration offer to investigate the claims against the boys or assist in removing the photograph in any way, the lawsuit asserts. By June 17th, the school's attorney was telling the families the image's disrespect was so severe as to warrant an immediate expulsion. The school then backed the protest by parents who used the image as evidence of kids participating in blackface. These are all just parents with too much free time and too much money, I would guess. By June 17th, the school then backed it. The teens ultimately withdrew on June 19th, but the student encountered a problem when he attempted to join the football team at his new school. Despite the principal's promise, the SF High School was required to disclose that he had switched schools to avoid disciplinary action that would see him then banned from playing sports for a year per regional rules. The lawsuit asserted that the principal's violation of our verbal agreement constituted a breach of contract, which I would agree. The student ultimately moved to Utah with his family in order to be eligible to play football during his senior year of high school. As part of the jury award, the high school must reimburse the teens moving and living costs. And the lawsuit is our attempt to redeem our names and reputations and correct the record to reflect the truth of what actually happened, the boy's family said in a statement at the time. A photograph of this innocent event was plucked from obscurity and grossly mischaracterized during the height of nationwide social unrest. Very true. They claim that SFHS and its leadership had rebuffed their attempts to correct the misunderstanding and seemed to have no interest in entertaining the truth. Judge Thang Barrett decided against dismissing the suit back in January 2021, noting that there was no evidence of an investigation into the matter by administrators. After Monday's verdict, SFHS released its own statement saying representatives for the school said they respectfully disagree that the jury's conclusion as to a lesser claim. So now they're looking at trying to appeal. First of all, the school has admitted that they don't care and they didn't care about any of the truth of it all. They didn't care that it was obviously acne medication, that they had wrongfully accused these students of blackface. Then the white liberal woman professor, which is, they're a plague on society, principal, went back on her word so she could virtue signal and make sure to try to ruin these kids' lives over acne medicine. What a complete moron. And here's the reality. So these kids will each get $500,000, plus they have to be rewarded for the cost of moving, which is no small amount, I'm sure. Their living expenses, and to get all of their tuition back. Almost certainly, that's several $100,000 additional dollars on top of it. The selfie is totally innocent, obviously. Here's the thing, though. Here's a sad thing. Thank goodness that they had these other pictures around. Thank goodness. Because if they didn't, they would absolutely have not won this lawsuit. I guarantee it. They absolutely would not have won this lawsuit. And by the way, so they each get $500,000 and $70,000 in tuition reimbursed, plus the cost of moving. I mean, this is, I think that everybody who's been wrongfully smeared like this should be, of course, going to courts, suing, trying to make an example of these lunatics. You see a lot of the comments, you know. Of note is that there is no true mea culpa from the school. Even though they know their procedures were beyond flawed in this instance, they still think that they did no wrong. Even though they would be left less exposed at various colonies. That indicates a deeper issue, one that may well open the door to others who were also asked to withdraw for spurious reasons, as this had nothing to do with reality and was just to pacify a baying mob. It's clear the school doesn't respect the court's judgment. Of course. I mean, they will go to bed at night thinking that the court was probably, on the side of blackface. What an absolute epic win for these young boys. Hopefully they'll spend this money well, and hopefully this crap doesn't follow them around for the rest of their life. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. We'll talk to you again real soon.